Hi everyone, and I have a fun and exciting project to share with you today. This one is from Maymay Made It. She calls it the 3-page wonder, and it was really quick and easy to put this together. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm excited to share it with you. I had a couple of people ask if I would be doing any tutorials, and I actually did a tutorial on this one. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Let me go ahead and show you what I did. So the paper pack that I used on this is called Cosette. It is from Close to My Heart, and it's a brand new paper that is being released on April 1st with their catalog that is coming out. And I will have links down below in the comments where you can find Maymay's videos and all of the dimensions on how I made it, and where you can find the paper and embellishments for it. All right, so let me go ahead and show you this cute little folio here. Some of the details here, I just wanted to show you really quick. The little doors open up on this clock. Look how cute that is, a little bird in there. And I did print out this little saying on my home printer and then did a heat foil on it. I don't know if you can see the shine on that, but there we go. And let's go ahead and open this up and see what the inside looks like. All right, so right here up at the front, it starts off with this little pocket, and this card slides out. You could either put a picture or journaling on here. I actually made this like a little fold out card to have a journaling spot here on the front, so that you can put these particular pictures that I used are from my granddaughter's preschool. And so her mom could put the school's name and the dates that she went there and anything else that she wanted to say about her time there at the school. All right, and then that just slips right here in this front pocket. Now, Maymay did say on her video that you could fit anywhere from 6 to 12 photos in these folios. This just flips down like this. And let me go ahead and show these two first here. So you have 2 spots for photos there. If you wanted to, you would be able to make this into a pocket with maybe a little card that slides out for some more journaling spaces. Same on here. I didn't do that on mine. I figured the little card I have here on front would be plenty of journaling space for that. And then folds down like this, and then they open up this way. And again, it's the other 3 photos from her school photos. They certainly did not take school photos like these when my children were in school. They just turned out so adorable. I love this picture here of her. It just shows her personality. That truly is her personality just shining through right there. So as soon as I saw this paper packet, I knew immediately what photos that I would be using on this project. And I was really excited to see this little folio. Yeah, it's cute and compact. And I like the idea that it will hold all the photos from one event. And even more exciting is Maymay just came out with another video showing how to make a holder for these size folios. And wouldn't it be so cute to make a couple of these folios, one for each school year, and have that sitting on the shelf instead of just a regular photo album. And so I think that's what I have planned on it. Is I'm going to make a couple more, set them to the side, and use them for her school years, her school photos as they come out. All right, so let me go ahead and show you how I get it made. So let's jump in and start making our book. I will have the sizes to cut all of the papers down below, but I'll run through it really quickly with you. So you're going to need 3 base pages that are 8.5 by 11. You can use cardstock, or I'm using this craft paper that I purchased from Close to My Heart. it came in 12 by 12, and so I just went ahead and cut it down to the 8.5 by 11 size that we need. You can use any cardstock, but you do want to make sure that it's sturdy because it is going to be the base of our folio. So you don't want it to be super thin. It will need to be able to hold up for your photos you're putting into it. All right, so you have 3 of those. 2 of them are going to be scored at 3 inches, 9 inches, and 9 1/4 inches. And that quarter will give you this little gusset here on the side. And as I said, you're going to do 2 of them that way. I have some blue painter's tape on this one, and I'll explain why I did that in just a minute. And then this, so both of those, you want 3 inches, 9 inches, and 9 1/4. The third piece, you're going to score right down the middle at 5.5. So just a simple fold. And then for your decorative papers, you're going to want 2 strips that are 1.5 by 8 1/4. You're going to want 2 strips that are 2 3/4 inches by 8 1/4. You're going to want 4 pages that are 8 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I have my 4 right here. And you're going to want 3 that are 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. So I have those right there. All right. Now I did pre-cut all of my papers just to save time here on the video. I figured you probably didn't want to sit there and watch me cutting out my paper. However, I did want to mention something really quickly that I discovered while I was preparing for today. And I'm going to pull this over real quick. This is a folio that I made just to kind of test it out, see how it would work for the project that I had in mind. And I will be using this one as well for something later on, but just kind of gave me an idea here of what I wanted to do. Have my photo places there. Now the paper that I used for this sample, the paper itself is just floral, so it is not directional. I didn't pay too much attention on when I was cutting it. I didn't really need to. The flowers work in whichever direction. The paper that I'm using today is not the case. It does have a direction to it. So when I was cutting it out for this particular project, the first paper I cut incorrectly. I cut it going in this direction. I actually need this folio to be able to go in this direction. The reason being that the photos I'm going to be using in it are going to be running horizontal, not vertical. They're going to be going, all except one of them will be going in this direction. So I want my folio to be like this instead, if that makes sense. Instead of like here, I'm going to be using it in this direction. So when I was cutting my paper, I accidentally made the first cut and then realized my flowers were all going in the wrong direction. Fortunately, I caught it after only one sheet and I was able to catch myself. So I figured I would just share with you to kind of save you that little heartbreak that I had with that paper. I was able to save it and use it for one of my other pieces. However, when you're cutting, especially for directional paper, if you're going to be doing it in this direction like I am, you're going to want to make sure that your first cut at 8 1/4, you have the flowers facing you. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down. And then I'm going to spin it. That was 8 1/4, and my next cut is going to be at 5 3/4. There we go. And then I'm going to do a second one at 5 3/4. And now both of these, the flowers would be running in the correct direction for the project that I'm working on today. Again, if you want your folio in this way, you're just going to want to pay extra attention to which way your pattern is going so you don't end up having it be in the wrong direction like I did. All right, so now that I've shared that with you, as I said, I went ahead and pre-cut my craft paper here to the 8.5 by 11, and I have these score lines on here, and this side has the small little gusset. So let's pull this one over, put that to the side, and I'm gonna reach over here and grab my tape. Now, it dawned on me this morning, so I have a confession here to make. At the moment, my eyesight is not the greatest. I am blind in one eye, and I have cataracts in the other. I have a planned surgery in May to hopefully get that corrected. But for now, my vision is not the best. And so for the lighting and sometimes it's a challenge for me, especially for score lines, to be able to see exactly where I needed to be able to line this up. If I'm just doing it by myself, I can take that slow time and just work with it. But for the sake of the video, it dawned on me after I made my score line to place this blue tape, and it gave me a clearer vision of how I can line it up. And it actually just kind of butts up very nicely up there. And I thought, hey, that'll make it nice and easy for me to be able to see. All right, so let me grab my tape here. Kind of covered up my block here by accident. All right, so you're gonna take your two pieces, and the blue tape on this is covering up one of the pieces that has this gusset here. All right, so remember we have two pieces that are scored exactly the same, and you're gonna want them in that same direction. And what we're going to do is the gusset's on this side, and you have the gusset on this side where I have my tape. And I'm going to, now you can use glue to do this. Quite often I do use art glitter glue. It's my favorite, but I have found that the tape works very, very well. I actually, I like to joke and say that I'm a little bit glue challenged, and that it tends to get all over the place, whether it's art glitter glue or if it's, especially with hot glue, I'm a little bit glue challenged. The other thing that I did discover is that when I do make mistakes, this is a must-have in my art room. If you've ever used this, it's called Undo. It will definitely save you. You're able to take your papers off of the project. It does not stain the paper. It dries very, very quickly, and it actually will leave the adhesive, so you don't have to put more tape down. The tape will still be extremely sticky. You just run this along, peel up the whatever you're trying to remove, and it'll still be super, super sticky, that once it's dry, you can lay it right back down. No stains, no marks, nobody will ever know. This works especially well with tape. Now with art glitter glue, because it is such a strong adhesive and it dries so quickly, it doesn't remove it as easy. I have actually ripped paper trying to use this to remove something that was that I glued down. So just a little tip there, but this is a must-have in my craft room. I do make mistakes. All right, so give me one moment. I have a visitor at my door that I'm gonna let in real quick. Sorry about that. We have a kitty here that's scratching at the door that thinks that she might want to come in, but she hasn't decided yet. All right, so I also have labeled here, I put an A here and an A on this side. I don't know if that shows up on camera or not, just to remind myself how this is going to go down. So this gets folded, and then I have my tape here. Now, I'm not pulling all of my tape off all at once. I'm only going to take off just a small little corner here and fold it down. And I'm going to take this and butt it up right where I had that tape. Try to make sure it's as even as I can make it. That looks, I think it moved on me just a little bit. All right, I think that looks good. And I'm gonna push it down just into that little spot of the tape. You can see here, I'm gonna double check here on this side. It looks a little tiny off. I'm not gonna try to be super perfect with it. However, I am married to an engineer, and he has taught me over the years, anything worth doing, do your best at. Again, things don't have to be absolutely perfect, but if I'm going to put a lot of effort and time into something, if it's something that I can try to do as close to perfect, I try to. Doesn't always happen. There's a lot of mistakes, and normally I'm the only one who can actually see them. I think sometimes we can be our own worst critic. All right, so I think that moved on me a little bit. So let's see. I'm gonna try to peel this up just a bit. See, this is that perfectionist in me. I shouldn't try to be this picky about it, but we're gonna try this one more time. Hopefully that'll be a little straighter. When I folded it back, I noticed that it wasn't really lined up with my blue tape super well, which is where my score line is. Okay, much better. I'm happier with that. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this corner back here. Lift that little piece up. Go ahead and there we go. I'm happy with that. And I don't really need this blue tape. I'm going to very carefully pull this back. And that worked really well. I think that is something that I will continue to do in the future, even for myself, because that did make it easier for me. And we have our second little gusset here. So this is what it should look like now for you. We have our flap here with the gusset, this inside fold, this page, and like this. All right. So now we're going to move on to this piece. And again, I did label, I don't know if you can see, I have a B and a B, just to remind, actually that says A on there, there's my B. Just to remind myself that I'm going to want to tape this down just like this. This one shouldn't be too hard. All right, now, for my project, I'm just making this flat. There's going to be a full picture here. I don't want this side to be a pocket. You do have that option. If you want this to be a pocket, then just go ahead and put either a thin line of glue or tape just here on the sides, tape it down, and you'll give yourself that extra little pocket right here in the middle. For my project that I'm making today, I don't need that, so again, I'm gonna pull out my tape here. I'm gonna turn this around just to make it a little easier for myself. So I have my little fold here. And again, I'm not going to pull up the entire piece of tape all at once. I'm just going to get it started. And you want to make sure that you do the inside tape first, otherwise you wouldn't be able to reach it if the this one was taped down first, then you won't be able to get onto the inside. So I'm going to line this up as perfect as I can. All right, I think that's good. I'm gonna double check up here. That looks good. And I'm gonna reach in, pull that tape out, and just double check. Like last time, it kind of moved on me a little bit, but it looks pretty good. Hopefully my head didn't get in the way of that or anything. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pull this up. Let's grab this little piece of tape, lay it down, and there we go. There's my garbage. Get that out of the way for you. Okay, so this is the basic structure of that folio. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? So next, this inside flap here, I am actually going to turn into a pocket. And I don't want to use my thicker tape here. It would take up too much of the room. I want to have lots of space on this side to be able to slip in the folder that I have. So, and I only need it on the sides. I don't need any on the bottom. Let me turn it around this way. There we go. And I put it really close to the sides here. Hopefully you can see that. Try to remember to make sure that's all in camera view for you. And it's just going to go right up like that. And again, this one, because I have it folded, there's nothing being attached with it. I'm not worried about only pulling up with one piece of the tape. And then I have this nice little pocket here. All right, so this is the direction that our folio is going to be in. This will be the front. It will fold down. It has the pocket here. We have our first flap, second, our third. It'll fold out, another one, and then of course the back. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so the next thing that I want to do before I move on to adding the papers to it is I want to do a magnet closure on it. Now again, with my sample, let me pull this out. This one here, I only used one magnet right here in the middle, and it does work, it does its job. However, I think with this one, I'm going to do 2 magnets on it just to give it an extra little stability to make sure it really holds in place. All right, let me hold those out really quick here. All right, so these are the particular magnets that I have. I believe that I got these from Amazon. They weren't super expensive. They're very, very thin and they're strong. So I definitely like these. I know that there are magnets out there specifically for scrapbookers. They can be pricey. You don't get a lot in the package. If I can find the link on Amazon where I got these, then I'll definitely put them below. I believe I got 100 of them, and they weren't incredibly expensive at all, though. Yeah, it says 100 pieces. Very, very strong, and I haven't had any issues with them at all. So there's actually 2 here and 2 here. You may not be able to see that. And then how I like to do it is, this is the way that I do my magnets on projects. All right, I'm gonna open up my flap here. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave 2 of them together. And I recommend using a glue dot. I will be putting extra tape over the top of it, but just to get it placed. And you can tell my glue dots aren't that big. It doesn't take a lot. Make sure it stays on there. There we go. I don't know if that you can see that or not. And then let's see. Try not to be too picky, but I do want it to be somewhat even. So make sure that I stay in the camera here at 8.5. Means 4 1/4 is going to be, so maybe if I do it at, I don't know, let's see, maybe do one at 2.5. I was really close to 2.5. Again, I'm being a little picky here. It doesn't need to be this exact, but why not? All right, and so probably put the other one here at 6. That looks like it'll work really well. All right, and so like I said, both magnets are stacked up on there with each other. Oop, that one popped off. Let me glue that back on. Again, there is going to be reinforcement there. This is just to hold it in place for now. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel back another little glue dot, put it on here. And one on here. There we go. It's stuck on there pretty well. Okay, so now this is my second magnet. I have another glue dot so that when I fold this down, I do want to make sure that this gets folded down as straight as possible. It will shift a little bit. So I just want to make sure this flap is where I intend it to be. Reason being, the purpose of that is now when I lift it up, I have my magnets here and here. And I will caution, you don't want this too close to the edge here. You want to make sure that your paper that you're putting on the inside of your flap is going to cover that magnet up. Just like that. So now we have two magnets on there. All right. So let's go ahead and pull out our papers. So this paper here is from my lower pocket, and this is from my flaps. And I think I'm going to start on this one. So I have this marked as my outside front. All right, so let's get going. Okay, something that I did forget to mention here really quick is the reason I had said, and then I forgot to do it myself, is with the glue dots, they don't have to be super, expensive glue dots. Mine certainly probably wouldn't hold magnets forever on their own. So what I like to do is just put a piece of this tape right over the top of them like this. And then I'm going to peel this off here. And that just gives them extra security under the paper. The paper will be glued right on top of those. Just like that. so that is how we get our folio put together. And once you have your papers cut and you decide how you want your layout to go, it goes together fairly quickly. Really happy with it. I love the color combinations. You'll see that I did change my mind on this paper once I had it laid out. Just kind of decided at the last minute that was a lot of this pattern paper right here, and decided to mix it up just a little bit. But so I changed it to this side, which I think looks very, very nice. Everything is nicely coordinated. I don't have any repeat patterns when you open it up this way, and I have different papers going this way. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and mount my photos off camera, and then I will come back and show you how I plan to put those. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I got all of my photos matted and placed where I wanted them here in the book. I have not glued them down yet because I will be adding embellishments probably under them. I'm going to have a couple of little sayings. You can hear the little paw prints of another little friend of ours coming in to say hi. And so yeah, I don't want to glue these down just yet until I have decided exactly what embellishments are going to go around them. I do have this little card that I made to put in this little pocket right here. So all of the pictures for this folio are running horizontal except for this one. And so it was almost perfect just to be able to go into the little pocket there. I did turn this into a card so that her mom could add journaling on the inside of it. Any thoughts or feelings on these photos. These photos are from when her daughter was in preschool. And flip up here and show, I have these two photos placed right here. Aren't these cute? They're so adorable. They certainly didn't have preschool photos taken like this when my children were in school. And so these are gonna be right here like this. And at the beginning of the video, I'm going to do a walkthrough so that you can see what the final product turned out to be. I have some ideas in mind of different little accents and sayings that I want to add to it, but I don't want to take too much time up on this video going through that, so I'll show you the finished product. If there's any aspect of my things that you see that you do want me to go into detail on how I did it or what it is, please leave a comment, and I'll make another video showing any kind of little accents and stuff that I added for the photos. And yeah, so I'm going to have the dimensions down below, a product list for you of where you can find the items. And this paper again is the Cosette set that is being released from Close to My Heart. It'll be available April 1st. And I'd really appreciate it if you took a look at my website there. It is Stamping Above the Clouds at closetomyheart.com. I'll have the link below for that as well. It's just a gorgeous paper pack. And when I saw it, I knew exactly what photos I would be using with it. I do read the comments. I appreciate everybody who has taken the time to watch my video and to subscribe to my channel. I do, and I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.